Hello, Facebook Ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook Ads Breaking News Podcast. Hello, guys, another podcast. So, this is podcast number 60, and it's going to be most probably one of the biggest podcasts that we have. I want you to bear with me because most probably it's going to be a huge podcast, and the reason is you, because I would like to thank all of you. First of all, I would like to thank you for the questions, even if they are complex and stuff. Just so you know, because I get comments from people like my friend. Let me find you. I don't have it. Like my friend Edward. I'm not annoyed by the number of the questions and all of that. I'm happy when you do questions because that means that I'm intriguing you to think more about Facebook ads. I'm actually helping you, inspiring you, whatever that may be, to think of Facebook ads from another perspective. All of this is good, and I would like to thank you so much for the support because you are supporting me also, even if you don't understand it, with the comments and all of that, because you give me content. I have things to discuss. I'm taking ideas for future videos and all of that. But also, I would like to thank all of you because we had more than 100 people into the Patreon, and in just 1 week or 48 hours, which I think it's amazing, and I really thank you for that. And I hope that we're going to continue growing there, and I really like the fact that you liked so much the podcast, so you considered, even if it's a small amount or whatever, I think that for some of you maybe it's not a small amount. I don't want to criticize that, of course, but I would like to thank all of you anyway, because some of you maybe you don't have this extra money and stuff, and you just want to use it in order to learn. I didn't expect it to be that good. I did expect that some people were going to subscribe, but I didn't expect it being so good. And that means that, guys, you find this podcast really valuable because we're having a pure interaction with questions and stuff. And I'm able to go deeper and deeper and deeper explaining. Given the fact that we're having now the Patreon, the answers that I'm going to give to the YouTube comments are going to be less and less detailed, but I will try to give some direction and stuff. I'm not doing it in a cheap way of selling you the podcast. It's impossible to answer every single question into depth from now on. I do try on some of those that I'm intrigued by your questions. I'm still answering. I have one example here today. And guys, I'm not calculating what is going to go where. I'm just shuffling the questions, and some will go to the free part, some are going to go to the other part. I'm talking about Asimov here. I think it was his name. He told me that, Asimov. He told me that the previous week his question didn't make it to that. So I tried to put it at the start, and I hope that I'm going to put this on your. It's going to be on the free part. I will try to answer it as the first question. So thank you all for all of that. Bear with me today. It's going to be a huge podcast. We have 39 questions. And some of those are really hard questions, and they're not, they're not simple questions like should we use videos or images to do our ads. They're deep questions. I really like the fact that we have advanced stuff. And just saying that in the channel there's always going to be free content, okay? Because right now the only thing that I did is 30 minutes of the podcast. So I think it's a win-win for those that they want and they can afford it, they take it. Those that they cannot afford it, they can also still learn. I have so much free content right now. Let's discuss a little bit about. I know that all of you want to discuss about what happened with Meta on Tuesday and the server down, but we're going to discuss this. Before that, I would like to give you a little bit of. Yesterday, I had a phone call with one of my. He's not a student anymore. He's a very good friend of mine. I really like him. I have so much fun. We were actually discussing about one campaign over there, and I told him, why didn't you follow the other campaign that had 5 sales, for example, to do something with crazy and stuff, and you just follow this campaign that had 0 sales? And he's cynical to me like this because he understands that he did a mistake, and he says no, it had 1. You know, he was trying to, not. He was trying to defend himself and say, no, don't say that it had 0 sales, it just had 1. Anyway, I'm having so much fun with him in our coaching sessions and everything. And just so you know, Michael is one of the chosen 5. If you go to the chosen 5 program, you will see that there is 2 spots only available right now. Michael is one of the other 3. But it's so nice, because we're doing this for months and months, and he's now making his own money by having clients, and he's doing pretty well. He's doing really, really well. And of course, we discussed his ad accounts, because one of the way that you can work in the chosen 5 is by being a freelancer, for example, and having several ad accounts. These mentorship programs, by the way, they didn't come to my head just like this. These are things that I'm already doing. So I said, okay, let's market it a little bit, let's call this one this one this, and let's start showing to people so that people can know that they can join these programs also. Now, Michael yesterday told me, dude, you just said that February was going to be a good month, and now I really understand why you don't like to talk and predict things. And he's totally right. But to my defense, the first 15 days of February were good. I should not be laughing about this because the situation right now is tragic. But anyway, the first 15 days, guys, were good. And then the Chinese New Year stopped. So people start doing ads. From the 28, 29, we started seeing some higher CPMs. And then the first, second, third, on my group, there are people discussing it also. We really had really bad results. And then we had the event of Tuesday, which is going to make the things even worse. The point is that the first 15 days of February were good. I'm sure about it, but I must tell you also this. The big ad accounts that I have, the established ones, the ones that they are spending 200K, 300K, 400K, they have not been impacted from the bad results of the first, second, third of March and everything. And you might say, and why do we care about that? We spend 200, 300. You care about that because to me, it's a strong indication that it's not a very, very difficult period. It's just a period that it's affecting smaller accounts. When I see bigger accounts getting affected, I get really worried. So on that note, I would like to tell you that most probably it's not going to last long, but we're going to discuss a little bit on what you should do on these kind of periods. So we had this period, which is bad period with bad CPMs, and then we had Meta. Most people, what they're going to do, people that they don't watch the podcast or people that they're not experienced, they're going to go close the ads, they're going to start new ads and all of that. This is making the situation even worse. If we had an ideal scenario that all of the advertisers, they could sit at a table and they would say, guys, like a union, let's say the Meta Advertisers Union, let's call it, okay? A really fiction union, okay? Fiction idea. So let's say that they were sitting at a table and they say, okay, guys, we're not going to do anything, okay? We're just going to leave it like this. the impact on the ads and stuff was going to be lesser comparing to what impact we're going to have now, because now everybody's flooding again the platform with new ads and all of that and all of that. Let me tell you this, and this is something that all of you need to understand, and if you don't understand, this is a problem of your own. I'm 100% convinced, and I have seen it, and I have tested it, and I have done it, and I'm sure of it. When you have an ad account and you have campaigns running for a period, we're not going to talk about new ad accounts that they just do one campaign and another one after 1 week and stuff. In these ad accounts, even if the CPMs are higher stuff, you're going to still battle to train your pixel and do all of this effort all the time, so it doesn't matter. But in other accounts that they are working for a long period, they have big spends. They have smaller spends but stable ads working for a very long period. For these ad accounts, I must tell you that in this period, if you don't touch your ads, and because sometimes when I'm saying it, there are people coming and actually telling me something which makes total sense. If I cannot afford it, if you cannot afford it, my friend, sadly, you are going to lose compared against the other people that they can actually afford it. So let's say, for example, that you are running for 5 months and you have 2 ROAS and you're doing pretty well, you have established campaigns, and then you have a bad period like this and you are losing $300, $400 every day. My suggestion is still to try to see if you can soak the damage and leave the campaigns like this. I know it sounds unconventional, some people might disagree with that and all of that, but it is the truth. If you are going to touch your campaigns, and if you cannot afford it, because I'm not blaming the people that they are closing the ads if they're losing money, I'm just blaming the people that, for example, they break even and they change the ads, or they have smaller profit margins, or they can absorb this damage but they don't absorb it. I have several videos proving that when you do that, you are actually winning. Why? Because the people like you that they're not going to be able to afford it, or they're going to panic and close their ads, they are the ones that they're liberating the sales that they were going to get to all of the others. Imagine this as a very big feast, which is having a very big cake, okay? And all of us, we need to take a slice. If someone leaves the table and they don't get a slice, then someone else is going to get a bigger slice, which means that his results are going to be better because he's going to keep spending the same money. If you don't understand this equation within the ads manager, you will never scale, because in the first situation you're going to lose all of your ads. You will never you will just be profitable for a period and stuff, and you will never have a strong ad account. You need to understand that Facebook is going to have these bad periods. One period that we also wait to be bad is the elections. It's going to be really bad. So if you understand that all of this is a game of numbers, and they are going to be, after the Chinese New Year, all these people, I was going to call them idiots, but they're not idiots. They just didn't have stock or whatever, or they can do whatever they want. We cannot just call them idiots. I cannot just call them idiots because they want to do ads. Okay, they want to try. I am the idiot if I'm going to close my ads or be influenced and just start making change because they see higher CPMs for a period. All of these people who are not having stable ad accounts, they are going to leave. And this is why you see these fluctuations like waves all the times on Facebook, because people come, they do ads, they get disappointed, then they stop. Then we have good results for a period. People start talking a lot about it to their friends, to Reddit and everything. People come, they flood the market. Then again, like every economy, Facebook also has a balance. Okay, so it has a balance that it's following, and in this balance, if you establish your position, for example, on spending 300k, you cannot just go because of 10 days and just lose this thing just because we had higher CPMs and go to 250k. Guess why? Because this 50k that you are losing is going to be taken by someone else. Even if now we take the 1 million advertisers, for example, of one country, and we make them 10, The other 10 people, they're going to get these sales, or maybe less if they don't increase their spends, with higher ROAS. So the ROAS that we get, the amount that we spend, and all of that, it's always a correlation between our ads, the spend that we have, and the other people that advertise, and our position to the market. If you're positioned to the market in a strong way and with strong numbers that you can actually absorb these kind of bad periods, you are bullying all of your competition, at least the competition that's closer to you, and you are not losing your position. This is what you need to understand, and why I'm mentioning all of that. I'm mentioning all of these, guys, because over here we had a situation with Meta on Tuesday where the servers were down. I'm just going to show you some print screens over here. The first print screen, as you can see, it started with saying that Facebook login, because this was the first thing. To be honest with you, I thought that I was banned or something, or hacked, I don't know. But then, and after I said, my phone started ringing all the time, and I was starting getting messages, so I realized that something is wrong with Meta. Meta admin said initially Facebook login, which was the first thing, we could not even log in. Then you see the second print screen, while it was down for 10-20 minutes, then they started showing that it had major disruption and stuff. Then it became unknown, as you can see over here, that even the meta status, this is, by the way, it's metastatus.com. You can see the servers and if they're working or not in order to see if there is a problem. And then it started recovering slowly. After it was fixed, it took 1 to 2 hours between that. I don't know, guys, because I lost the sense of time when this was happening, because I was just talking to the phone or sending messages and stuff. Even Elon Musk over here, as we can see, he did a tweet. It says, if you are reading this post, it's because our servers are working. So guys, we know that Elon was actually trolling. I don't think that Twitter had a problem. He just sent this message to, because it's Elon, I guess. This is why he said this message. He tweeted that. How are we going to call it now? X'd that? I don't know. I don't know how Elon, which is such a bright mind, I really like him. He changed the best marketing that there was out there in the social media. I find the name Twitter and tweet a genius idea, and I don't know why would someone go and change it. But maybe Elon is a villain after all, and he wanted to name it X because this is, I don't know, his next shoot is going to have the X. I don't know. With Elon, Okay, let's go to the next one. Guys, so one of my clients, she actually did something which I found genius. And if we ever have any outage again with Facebook, I think that you should do that. So she told me that while Meta and Insta was down, she sent this SMS. Insta might be down, but our site is working perfectly fine, maybe even faster today. I think that it's such a good idea, of course, you need to have an email list or an SMS list and stuff, but I think that you take something which is so negative, which means basically that you're having problems with your ads, and you are just turning it to something really positive, because let me tell you that it was a huge success. He had really good sales by just, telling them that, look guys, you don't have anywhere to go because your social media is down, come to the store and buy. And people are bored, and they are going to go and buy. So I think that this is a very good idea. Instead of you panicking when your social media is down, just build one SMS or email campaign and send it to people so that they can come to the website and try to buy something there or convert them there until their social media is up and they're going to be on their social media again. So really nice idea. I really like how some people, they're so positive in their life and they take something negative and they make it positive. And I was actually amazed that I have never thought of it, and I find it a really good and solid idea actually. Next one we have, I would consider this a troll comment. I reply most of the times, or sometimes, I'm testing also things. I'm saying the question is going to be on podcast 60. And now I started saying some things about, so that people will not feel that I'm pushing them to a paid thing. And I will say, okay, this is this and this and this, but I will extensively explain it in podcast 60 or 61 or whatever. He says, save us some time, man, and also tell me how to warm up a pixel, please. I think you're trolling. But I replied to you below, and I think that we solved it, okay? So we have a message here from Samuel. It is recommended to close campaigns. I went from over 4 hours to 0.73. It drives me nuts. He's talking about the outage and what happened with Meta. I think that the best thing that you should do is wait for the next days until all of these people that they don't have the right guidance, experience, or the means, they're going to just stop their ads. So this is when we're going to know what kind of damage has been done to the ads or whatever. It was only 2 hours, but I think that we're going to see some decline at accounts because of that. And to be, guys, it happened in the worst possible timing, because we had all of these issues anyway with the higher CPMs after the Chinese New Year as we entered March. So I think that what you should do is that you should keep the campaign live and wait. Next one. Underground Gym. Hi Konstantinos, in your first tactics, is your first tactic still working? I noticed over the last month Facebook is not populating ads with comments. Thank you. He's referring to the post ID and how to locate it to the comment section, which I have a video about it. Guys, in order for us to finish with the post IDs once and for all, it's very difficult to locate them. I just showed you one way that I found in order to locate some of my good combinations, because when you have a good combination from dynamic creative ads, for example, it's very difficult to find this post. So how are you going to find it? You go to your comments, you see over there into your comment section in Business Suite, in Message Center, you see over there which one has many comments, which is the combo that you want. Then you click on the date and then you are able to find the post ID from the URL. That's one way that I found. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to find all the post IDs, everything, okay? But it's one way that I found, that I shared with you, that this is the way to use the post ID. If you want to use the safest way about the post ID, is that after you see in an ad that something is working, you post it into your page and you use it forever, because it's going to be a post of the page. But if you want to use post IDs from ads and stuff, it's always going to be problematic. You're not going to be able to find them after some point and all of that. So that being said, yes, this tactic is working still, but you're not going to be able to find all of your different post IDs. Next one. We have Federico over here. He's saying, hello, do you sell training courses on Facebook ads? If you go to my website, over here below, let's say that you're watching this video, this is the website. If you go to the website, you're going to be able to find my mentorship programs, you're going to be able to find my course, you're going to be able to find a contact form to contact me if you want me to work with your other account, or a consulting call to book a consulting call, or you can, I think that all the things about the course, because the Patreon is not something you're going to learn things. So and you can find also my links to the Patreon and everything. So all of that. there are several ways that you can work with me or you can learn from me, okay? Mentorships, courses and stuff, go to my website, um, Facebook ads /master.com, and you're going to be able to find everything there. Next question, I'm going to take Azirov here from the other page so that we're not going to be lost on the page section, and he's going to say that I'm just doing it in purpose. So he says, hello Konstantinos, thanks for the good content. I'm targeting a group of 5 countries with relatively small audiences, 1 to 3 million each. I'm wondering if I can use the same pixel or not. Of course you can use the same pixel. Okay, let's not over exaggerate with different pixels, especially with small countries. Also, should I just do one general website and sell all products on it, or maybe each niche with one website and one pixel, or one website pixel per country? I'm waiting on Terrorhooks for podcast 59 and 60. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend also, Azirov. I don't care. Just put this on the free, even if it. But I don't think that we talk so much, so it's going to be easily on the free. For that, I would say that you can start with a general pixel with niche and stuff in different countries, and then if you see that you're getting traction in one of them, then you can start focusing more to it. The basic idea comes from the marketing term spin-off. If you don't know what is a spin-off, basically, let's say that I'm selling this and this and this and this and this. For all of you that you are listening on the podcast on Spotify or in Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, I'm just showing things on my table. And then I can see that one of the items, this for example, is getting better results. What I can do is I can do the spin-off, but I'm talking about getting very good results. So you can do a spin-off, which is basically, okay, I'm going to take this product, I'm going to put it with its own pixel, its own website and everything, and I'm going to do a spin-off because this product can stand on its own and has its own marketing and everything. So if you see one country standing out, if you see one product standing out, but I mean, understanding that this is going to be something good, not just 1 or 2 or 3 sales. You're going to understand when it's going to happen. You're going to understand, okay, that you're having a winning product and all of that. So when you have this situation, go and do a spin-off and do different pixel, different ad account and different marketing, stronger landing pages explaining the product and all of that. But without that, you can operate, especially if you have some. Now, if you ask me, if you can work with one pixel with USA, UK, for example, stuff, yes, okay, you can, but these are huge countries. Most probably, if you start having sales on USA alone, it's not going to serve so well UK. That's why very big companies, they have different pixels and different websites with different domains for the different countries, because they want to spend a lot of money in each different market. But in your case, with smaller markets and all of that, and without having a clear winner, I think you should stick to your way over here, and when you have a clear success, then you can move to something better. Not better, to a more concentrated structure, let's say, for the product that's working well, and the country maybe. For example, in these countries, if you see that one country is working really well, maybe you can focus creating a site with the specific language of the country and so on. So it really depends on the initial results you will get, and after that, you're just spending more money to it, investing. Okay, don't forget that all that we do here is investing, so there is always the risk of losing money. Next one. I want to launch Advanced Plus shopping campaign. How many purchases should my pixel have in order to launch it? Now, for Advanced Plus campaigns, guys, we need to clarify that you can test it immediately, and also it's completely different if you're talking about United States and if you talk about Switzerland, for instance. Okay, in Switzerland, the audience is so small, which is going to be the equivalent of an audience in United States. So if you think of it, you can start immediately with broad targeting in Switzerland, and a lot of other accounts start with broad targeting and is working. In Switzerland, for example, you can even optimize for add to cards as an initial thing. Um, because basically the people who are in add to cart, there are not that many, so that Facebook can serve you only add to cart people. And when people purchase, they also add to cart, so some of the purchase people are going to be also within the add to cart. Now, I try to avoid saying these things because people twist them, and they just, then they say, okay, if it's working in Switzerland, I will do it in Germany. But Germany is a huge country, so Facebook has a lot of add to cart people to give you, so it's going to give you only add to cart people. And again, it's always going to be better to have purchase event even on Switzerland, because eventually you're going to have better results. But some other accounts in Switzerland or smaller countries, they can start with other events like add to cart or checkout and have good results initially because they don't have a strong strong pixel. But as I say, I avoid saying these things because people twist them and they start using them in their own way. So always optimize for purchase event. You're going to do better like this. But when we talk about broad targeting, it really depends on the country. If your country is small, go for it and test it. But if you're going for United States with a new pixel, most probably it's going to fail. I have rarely seen ad accounts starting immediately with advanced plus campaigns and having success. One thing here though, you might be lucky and you might get a hot pocket which is going to work, but if your pixel is untrained, if you do 9 advanced plus campaigns, most probably 1 or 2 are going to work. You need to train your pixel for that because it's broad targeting. The thing that I want to mention here though is this. Even if it's going to work or not, you have to test it initially, because if you start with advanced plus campaigns in a new account, this is going to make your life much more easier. On the other hand, you need to see, even in a smaller country, you need to see where you're getting the better results. If you're getting better results with interest or with something else when you start with a new ad account and a new pixel, so be it. Continue with these kind of things until you have some good results. But always keep in your mind that the ultimate goal of your ad account is to reach to the point that you are going to actually have advanced plus campaigns or broad targeting campaigns working for you, because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to scale or have a stable ad account. You need to reach to that point eventually. But it doesn't mean that, and yes, the Facebook pixel is becoming better and better and better, and it's now much easier to do broad targeting after some point. Back in the day, you needed much more data to do broad targeting. I remember before iOS, I was still doing the crazy method broad targeting, and I was using it in big ad accounts that they had a lot of pixel data. In other ad accounts, I was using crazy method with interests because I wasn't able to reach the point of doing broad targeting. But I remember that at that point, it was kind of crazy to do broad targeting. I'm talking 2 years or 3 years before iOS 14, when I was doing that. That was the golden era also, that manual bidding was working like crazy, and I was scaling accounts like crazy. Anyway, I made a lot of money on that period because I was actually scaling other accounts from 20k to 500k in 1 month, just with manual bidding, with zero risk. Of course, with a lot of knowledge of changing budgets during the day, increasing really aggressively during the day, for example, because if you have an ad set spending 500 in the day and you wanted to spend 5k, you're not going to put the budget to 5k, you're going to put the budget in this specific day, because the manual bidding, it was 1 day attribution. If you want to do it, you're going to push it on 25, 30k in order for it to spend 5k, because it's going to try to spend close to 25k, but it's not going to. If you put 5k, it's going to spend 2k. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. So during the day, you were increasing massively the budgets and all of that. Anyway, it was fun days, so fun and so rewarding, because if you take one other account from profitably from 20k per month to 500k. As you can understand, people pay you a lot of money for that. But these days are over, so we're back to the point that I was going to tell you that the Pixel and Meta is making them better and better. So most probably in the future we will be able to start even with broad targeting, and the pixels are going to be that good. Right now we are at the point that sometimes in some other accounts they are struggling, and we have to start with interest and move to lookalikes, then to broad. Sometimes we don't even have to do lookalikes, we can go straight away to broad after some time. But it's taking some time with data and some months most of the time to train a pixel with consistent sales and everything. In other words, don't be fixated with the idea of using advanced plus campaigns. If you can't, just try to use whatever is working for you, testing all of these different things. After all, that's why we show all of these things in the channel all the time. And I just realized that I said we're not sewing, which is wrong. So we sew, and Maria, you should proud for me because I'm doing English lessons, and this came naturally. So Maria, thank you for that. This is a shout out for my teacher for teaching me better English. Now, so don't worry about it, just keep testing everything, and when you have and sorry for messing your question with so many different things, but I'm trying to make it fun because I have another 20 pages in front of me, so that I can find the courage to finish. Yeah, keep trying it from time to time, and eventually when it's going to work, it's going to be fine. But there is not a certain number, because I cannot give you 50 purchases. And let's say that I was going to tell you 35. Were you going to believe me? You should not believe whatever you hear from people on the internet if they don't explain to you on a technical level. So on that note, the number of purchases of training your pixel or whatever, it really depends on how big is your niche. If you're selling many niches, many products, country, all of this is really important to, and the bigger the country, the more data you need. The bigger the niche, the more data. It's different to train a pixel into fishing niche, or let's say to knitting niche, and to traveling niche, which is huge. So it really depends. There are no certain numbers about it. And the only way to check if your pixel is trained or not is basically if you do broad targeting and it's working. If you're doing campaigns and you're having some results, then if it is stable, the campaigns don't die after 2-3 days, then you know that your pixel is trained. Okay, enough of your question. Let's go to a Greek guy question. We have Triadaphilos over here. He's commenting on one video that I did about how to increase your daily spending limit, because a lot of other accounts, they have an issue with 50 per day spend. And there's the option of prepaid funds over there, which is when you do it, it's actually increasing it to 250 per day, which is very good, but not all other accounts have it. And he's saying, hello Konstantinos, thank you for the great video. Haven't tried it yet, to be honest. You should. It's working. There's no doubt. I have done it many times. Does credit line also work, or should there only be prepaid funds? I have done it with prepaid funds, not with credit lines. I really doubt if they're going to give you a credit line in a new account that has a limit of 50. I don't think that this is the case, because most of the time they give the credit lines to other accounts that they're having a lot of data and a lot of spend, and I really doubt that they're going to give you a credit line in a new ad account. Most probably, if you get a credit line in another account, is because you have spent money in the business that the other account is there in other ad accounts, which means that you're not going to have any limit in your new ad account. Because if you have businesses that they have inside other accounts that they have spent a lot of money, the daily limits are being lifted super fast and all of that, because you have already spent on other ad accounts. This solution is more about new businesses and new ad accounts so that you can increase the spend. But I don't believe that if you have a limit of 50, they're going to give you a credit line. I doubt it. If you get it and you have a credit line, most probably they have to also increase your spending limit, because what's the point of having a credit line of 50K, for example, and you're not going to be able to spend it on the month. Anyway, let's go to one story over here from our friend from the group. Hello guys, this is my story. I run a retail business in my local city, cash on delivery. We import goods, advertise and deliver. Before importing products, I test them. The audience is around 2 million. A few months ago, first of all, well done for thinking out of the box and advertising to 2 million people in a local city and all of that. Well done. A few months ago, I tested the product, it worked very well. I imported the stock and sold it out very quick. The cost per lead was 0.92. Then a few weeks ago, I retested the same products and I got leads with a cost of 0.8. Means the product is still winning. I imported a second stock. I turned off the testing campaign while waiting for the delivery of stock. Around 2 weeks, when it arrived, I switched on the testing campaign. Day 1, the campaign worked well. Good cost per lead 0.7 and all KPIs were good. Day 2, I launched another campaign with different creatives, 0 leads for both campaigns. I turned off everything. I know it's a mistake, but back then I didn't know Konstantinos yet. Guys, by the way, I would like to tell you that on that note, okay, you know that I'm telling you don't close it, give it more time and stuff, but I know that a lot of people are going to do mistakes because of that, and they're going to give more time to campaigns that they should not. So I would like to keep a balance between of what I say and what you see on your ad account. And of course, as I said, a lot of times people mention to me that I cannot afford it. I totally respect that. If you cannot afford it, life is not easy and life is not fair. Okay, there are other people that they can afford and they're going to stay. It doesn't mean that you're going to go bankrupt in order to prove a point that you can afford it, because you just don't have the numbers yet to compete with others. That's totally fine. Just don't do it and just try to do ads on periods that the CPMs are better in order for you to benefit from that. And maybe you will build a pixel and the funnel and you will make changes and you will be able to afford it later. Just don't overdo it with not closing ever anything, okay? Then a friend told me about the crazy method without mentioning the inventor. Shame on him. I took the working ad set from the first campaign and duplicated 5 duplicates in a new campaign. Bang! I got leads with good cost. Day 4, 0 leads again. Same mistake, turned off everything. Still don't know Konstantinos. Well, that's the point. When you do the crazy method, you need to optimize it or see if it's worth to optimize it. I repeated the same process 4 times. I know it's not practical to have same campaigns with lifetime of 1 day, but it's the only solution I could see. Also, over the last week, I noticed a gradual degradation. Okay, Maria, we have to find this word. I don't know what it means. In the quality of results, any new campaigns gets in its first and last day. Now that I don't want to be Facebook immigrant, I think he's using phrases from the past. I think I think in one podcast I was calling people Facebook immigrants. The ones that they come, they see that they like the things that we were explaining at the start. Basically, we were discussing about people that they come, they see that they have bad CPMs, they stop, and all the others, they are just getting again the results that they should get on their other accounts. I call them Facebook immigrants. Because then they go to Reddit, then they go to TikTok, then they go to another place and they just try to find something which is going to work. I don't think that you are an immigrant because you kept working, but you are panicking too much. I'm open to any suggestion you might have. Well, if you are getting good results in the first 24 hours, it's because we said several times that this is how Facebook is working and it's giving you some good results for the event that you want so that you can start getting some results. Now, a lot of times people take that and they try to abuse it. They do it again and again and again with 1 day and everything. And that's the bad thing though, because eventually it's not going to work. Facebook is going to understand that you're doing that. Now, what you should do, Sorry to say that, but I think that you should grow some balls, okay? Because having a campaign for one day, it's a problem. You go for a walk, go for a trip for 3 days. Do you know how many people they go for vacation for some time, and when they are back because they neglected their ads are doing better? Being on top of your computer all day, watching the campaign and refreshing all the time to see if it's going to work or not, it's not going to be good for you. So do one campaign, see if it has initial results, and then leave it for 48 hours. After that, try to optimize with the CB optimization that we have discussed, and I think it's going to go better for you like this. But please, you have to try to keep a campaign for a longer period. Keep it for 5 days. Just see what is going to happen. Why don't you do this test? You don't have a lot to lose. You already sold out 2 stocks. Don't tell me that you don't have the money for it. Okay, you have to grow some balls and step up your game and become better with it, and be more professional with Facebook ads. Don't be, just a guy who comes, does one campaign for 18 hours and close it or whatever. Okay, that's my suggestion. This is the end of the first part of the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. If you don't want to miss the second half of the podcast, where I'm answering all the remaining questions of the week, visit my Patreon page following the link on the description. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.